I wouldn't say overrated or underrated.
I think it's overrated.
They overrated.
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 Underrated.
Underrated.
I think there's no rush to get married. No, not at all.
I personally wouldn't do it because like there's so much to figure out, to be honest. Honestly, I just have to like even find out which country I want to live in. Like, how is a marriage going to work when I don't even know where to live?
People want to get married in their 20s, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world. It just seems like the right time. Growing up, that's what your parents tell you. Get married early 20s, finish having kids before you're 35. That sounds like the plan, but doesn't really play out that way.
I think a lot of people in their 20s are still forming their own identity. And I speak from personal experience. I had a lot of mistakes to make in this decade. And if I'd have got married too soon, I'd end up hurting somebody like that I really would have ended up regretted. So I think it depends. Like for some people it's overrated, for some people it's underrated, but it depends how you define it.
It's down to people's maturity and where they feel like it fits best in where they're at in life. Some people in their 20s, they're ready to settle down, they're ready to give up, being single and things like that. But some people still need that extra time, and that's where their 30s or 40s come in.
For me, I'm glad that I didn't decide to get married in my 20s. And if it happens in my 30s, great. If it doesn't, still great. It's not something that I'm actively focused on. I'm just trying to be a better person and find someone I connect with.
Depending on who you are, I feel like for religious people it works out because they probably want to have sex. At the same time, I feel like, people are trying to live their lives, it's getting harder and harder to like afford things and to like go to careers and buy homes. So I wouldn't say overrated, but harder. So maybe overrated, but harder, yeah, for sure. Most friends of mine would say overrated.
I personally wouldn't do it because I can't settle if I don't have my life figured out. Like my friend already said, I don't know in which country I want to live. I don't even know what my job's gonna be. I just discovered that studying I hate it, for example, and I'm in college, so I don't know what to actually do. So I wouldn't personally marry someone in this state right now that I'm in.
If you're a person where you want to build, especially as a man, from a man's point of view, you want to build with a goal, you want to build your career with a goal, here you go, help you get to that point in your life and go for it. But if you feel like you get to do it alone, by yourself, and you feel like when you're ready, when you're stabilized, then you're going to go into your life, then that's the direction for you, isn't it?
It depends if you're ready or not. I think, unfortunately, in today's world, you got to be financially stable. Like, money, unfortunately, is a thing these days. I'm not saying that you need money to be able to marry someone or find love, you know what I mean? But it's a big part of it. I don't think you should get married until you find the right person, got enough money in the bank, you're confident about your future together.
I feel like your 30s are now your new 20s. So
True.
like by then, that's when you've like grown into yourself and like set yourself up.
Your identity through making mistakes. In my opinion, through making mistakes. I think with each time I've made a mistake or I've broke somebody's heart or I've got my heart broken and I've ended up having regrets, that shapes me a little bit closer into who I want to be. And I think the person I am now, while I'm not the finished article, it's like a result of all of the mistakes I've made in the past.
I just think your 20s is for like exploring yourself, your hobbies, your interests. I don't think it's a time to like dedicate to someone else. I think that's probably for your 30s onwards, in my personal opinion. I think people like the idea of marriage because of the aesthetic of the day. I don't know if it's quite the same meaning as it used to be, or if it means the same. I think we're just kind of like a different generation that value maybe different things.
The world we live in right now, especially for women, a lot of times they would choose their career or then they'd come back to kids, but then it's getting harder and harder to do that because I think if you go away and do gap years or whatever, it's getting more competitive. So people are having to go first in careers rather than going do gap years, which means they're having less time, as we get older. And then there's something apparently once you hit 30, it's 50-50 chance you'll ever get married, or have kids. So it's, yeah.
I'm not looking to get married though, I ain't gonna lie, but I think it's underrated because I don't hear no one talk about marriage. I've never even been to a marriage in my 20s.
Like if you lived until 100 years old, 25 is literally nothing. So yeah, I think it's something that you shouldn't limit yourself in because 20s is not that long in the grand scheme of life.
I think, but I personally don't want to stress myself too much about finding myself. I want to take my own pace. I want to take my personal time with it. And I don't need someone else to help me with that. I personally think I can do it the best on my own.
I just think if you love someone, you don't need to be married to prove that, really. I feel like you can get married later in life, or I think when people rush into it and they haven't got the money, I just think it's a bit pointless, really.
I think it's a little too early to tie yourself down to someone, you know?
I personally believe that a community is always needed, especially like I'm a person that works in the creative field, so I definitely need a community. But I discovered my current best version by myself. I had people that were accompanying me. Yeah, that's right. Accompanying me through this journey. But at the end of the day, it was me that got to the point. But obviously, like a close friends group or like our own little community is definitely a big yes.